Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't dub it on, yo. I'm not paying. Challenge.
Well, you get this one, man.
Ain't no jumping.
When Joe Rogan laid eyes on Gervonta Davis's newly bulked up frame before the Jake Paul matchup, you could practically hear that classic Rogan reaction, part awe, part analytical breakdown.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. But he finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
On his podcast, Joe didn't hold back. Watching Tank's latest training footage, he remarked something along the lines of, "This guy looks like he's been built in a powerlifting lab." And he wasn't exaggerating. Tank's shoulders are massive, sitting high and coiled like a bull about to charge, and his overall frame is noticeably thicker than what we saw before his bout with Ryan Garcia. Rogan then broke it down in his usual analytical style, explaining how the added muscle could actually boost Tank's explosiveness, potentially increasing punch speed and hip torque rather than slowing him down.
Interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
The real excitement came when Joe compared Tank to a modern-day, scientifically tuned version of Mike Tyson, built to explode rather than just box. He even threw a cheeky remark at Jake Paul. If he thinks this upgraded Tank is aiming for a points victory, he's seriously mistaken. This guy is coming to finish it early. You could see the respect Rogan has for the hard work behind it. He thrives on watching a fighter evolve. And this latest iteration of Gervonta Davis feels like evolution on steroids, not literally, but in the sense of a fighter reinventing himself to make a statement. As Joe put it, this isn't just Tank Davis 2.0, this is Tank Davis fully unleashed.
You know, he got the skills, the power, he got that ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
After watching Joe Rogan geek out over Tank's new size and basically label him a modern-day, explosive Tyson, we turn to Wade Plemons' breakdown, and things get even more intriguing. You can tell these guys aren't just showing off. They're methodically building a game plan. Calvin Ford looks like a mad scientist in the corner, analyzing Jake Paul's every move and every subtle tell. This isn't casual sparring. Tank is sharpening his skills, mapping out angles, and getting his mindset dialed in so that the only possible outcome is total domination.
The least serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, you know, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we have hiccups in life.
And when I say Tank is zeroing in on the body, I don't just mean cardio drills. I mean breaking Jake down piece by piece, making every forward step feel like trudging through molasses. This is where it gets ruthless. Watching the footage, it's clear Tank isn't just bigger, stronger, or faster. he's smarter. Ford's coaching isn't about letting Tank throw wild punches. It's a strategic chess match, figuring out exactly how to make a 60-pound powerhouse pay for every inch of reach he thinks he controls.
See a guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to.
I can picture it now. Tank unloading volume punches to the body. Jake's guard dropping. And suddenly we're into late round fatigue with opportunity knocking. If Tank lands like this, it won't just slow Jake down. It could completely change the fight's momentum. And the funny thing? While everyone's calling it an exhibition, these clips show Tank approaching it like a world title defense. With Calvin Ford in the corner, fear becomes just another tool to sharpen. Strap in. This isn't Tank performing for Netflix. It's Tank orchestrating a complete takeover, ready to exploit every weakness in Jake's game.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. That's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with something, hurt him.
Just when you thought Calvin Ford's commentary was intense, Lamont Roach Sr. steps in with some straight-up boardroom-level insight on Gervonta Davis's business moves. He didn't throw punches, he threw contracts. Essentially, he called out Tank for skipping a rematch and jumping to Netflix, saying, "Forget honor, I'm chasing streaming numbers." And honestly, this Jake Paul fight feels like boxing took a hard left into YouTube territory. Try explaining this to an old-school fan. Yep, Tank Davis is stepping into the ring with the guy who used to prank shoppers at Target.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, "Oh, money this and money that," but you gotta do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train. You know what I'm saying? Get their coaches, their sparring partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So when they get back, they get news like that. You know what I'm saying? It does not receive well. So, but. We solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next for us.
Here's where it gets hilarious. Roach didn't sugarcoat it. You can't just skip business for a bigger payday. And I'm sitting there thinking, tell that to half of Hollywood and every influencer with a boxing license. Still, he has a point. If Tank really passed on that rematch to take on Jake Paul, it's like skipping the NBA Finals for a celebrity 3-on-3. Sure, you get the paycheck, but your legacy is side-eyeing you hard. Don't get me wrong, Jake Paul can punch. But Tank? Tank's built like a pocket nuke in gloves. This isn't content creation, it's career-level destruction. If Jake walks in thinking this is just another influencer showdown, he's about to learn the hard way. Tank doesn't do collabs. He delivers consequences.
Tank is just so much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's going to find out, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight, me honest. I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work. Yeah. He ducked that work.
Right after Lamont Roach Sr. called Tank out for skipping basic business ethics, Lamont Roach Jr. stepped in and didn't hold back. He basically said what everyone's been thinking. Tank didn't just avoid the rematch. He jumped straight into the Jake Paul circus like it was Coachella. And he nailed it with a hilarious punchline. Imagine training your entire life for a world title, only to see the guy who beat you dive into an influencer showdown where the biggest talking point is glove size. You can feel Roach's frustration. He wanted real smoke in the ring, not Tank chasing clicks on Netflix.
Get that rematch fight versus Gervonta after this fight?
Who knows? He said he's retiring. I believe him. I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire.
You think he'll retire after the exhibition match?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because we get scared.
And look, I get it. The Jake Paul fights come with dollar signs flashing like a Vegas slot machine. But legacy isn't built on TikTok clips. If Tank really walks away after this, it's like a superhero retiring mid-series just because the merch sold out. Jake Paul might be 200 pounds of content creation, but Tank's built like a human missile. This fight is either going to be the shortest main event in history or the biggest marketing spectacle since Logan squared off with a weather app. Either way, it feels like boxing went overnight from HBO drama to YouTube reality show. But one thing's for sure. When Tank Davis steps in with Jake Paul, you know something viral, brutal, and ridiculously expensive is about to happen.
The Jake Paul and Gervonta fight, the weight, the ounces on the gloves, 12 ounce, and then, you know, Calvin was asking to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. Like, I really don't care. I don't care about their fight.
Here's the wild part. This fight feels like a social experiment masquerading as a main event. On one side, you've got Jake Paul, the internet's golden boy of chaos. On the other, Gervonta Davis, forged in Baltimore's boxing trenches. It's influencer culture versus true fighter mentality. Algorithm versus art form. And the twist? Both need each other. Jake wants legitimacy. Tank wants a legacy beyond the traditional boxing world. It's like two worlds colliding to see which one bends first. Here's my take. If Tank lands a clean shot, it's not just a knockout, it's a cultural reset. The day boxing reclaims the internet from the influencers. But if Jake somehow survives, maybe even drags Tank into the later rounds, we could be witnessing the rise of one of the most despised success stories in combat sports history. Either way, this isn't just a fight. It's a battle for who controls the spotlight next.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, oh, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. Nope. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time in.
And here's the kicker. One fighter's chasing greatness. The other's chasing validation, but both are risking everything that defines them. When those gloves meet, it won't just be a fight. It'll be boxing's moment to see if authenticity still beats algorithm. Either Tank is about to show the internet what real power looks like, or Jake might pull off the wildest plot twist since McGregor versus Mayweather. What do you think? Is Tank about to drop Jake faster than bad Wi-Fi in a hotel, or does Jake actually have what it takes to survive Baltimore's intensity? Drop your thoughts below. Debate it, roast it, defend it. I want to hear it all. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters, the home of unfiltered takes, bold opinions, and real talk. Catch you in the next one.